Hello there, everyone, and a very happy Thursday. And thank you for joining us all today. I do hope that you're having a great week and that you do have something nice planned for the weekend. So yesterday was the 17th, and the 17th can only mean one thing in Alter New World, is that we did have the Marvelous monthly release. So I will be taking a closer look at those products today, and we're going to create a few projects with them as well. Thank you everyone that has popped in already. The lovely Angel will be behind the badge today, so she'll be popping in all of the links. Hopefully I don't go too quick. And also checking out all the comments, making sure that I don't miss any. So hello there, everyone that has popped in. Hey there, Beverly and Zamara. I do hope that you're all good. Also, if you share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Alter New store. So please let us know that you shared and where to as well. So I am going to pop you guys down so we can take a look at the products and we can create some things. Okay, so we're just going to take a couple of quick clicks and we should be at the tabletop. So hello there, everyone that has popped in as well. Hi, Audrey. Hi there, Pam. It's a long time no see. And hi there, Nancy, too. So I do hope that you're all good. So let's take a look at the products in the Marvelous monthly release. We do have the normal kind of stamps, dies, hot foil plates, and then we also have some extras over to the side as well. Hey there, Cece. Sorry, frog in my throat. So first up, we have the very pretty rock trumpet. Now, this stamp is huge. I don't think I've owned a stamp as big as this one. I mean, we do have the billowing peonies, but that's kind of two stamps in the bigger packet than this one. But this is just one huge one. So we are going to take some time and try and think of ways that we can stamp this without a large stamp platform. Maybe that you don't have a large block or anything like that that you can use. So I want to be able to kind of help you out with that one as well. So that one is the rock trumpet. So we have that large image. We have some great sentiments in there. And we do have the inspiration and also the layering guide. So hello there, everyone that has popped in. Hello, Serena, Kathy, and Brandon. We do hope that you're all doing really, really well. So when we have the Build a Garden, we have the stamp set, and we also have a stencil set. Now, again, this stencil set is large, very, very large. I think, again, biggest stencils that we've ever done. And in this one, you are going to get 2 6x6 stencils, 1 7x7, and 2 9x6s. So there is a lot of stencil in here for your money. And also with the Build a Garden, you do get a little blending tool as well. So remember that one. Okay. There is also an add-on die set. So if you do like this, but you're not a fan of fussy cutting, you can actually purchase the die set as well. Oh, Sue has actually made things with this set already. So yeah, that's good. Also, if you did want to check out the Alter New fan page on Facebook, you can join. And there is lots of inspiration from like-minded crafters over there as well. Okay, so next up we have the crafter flower. Now, with our crafter flowers, we have this cool little system that we have a little cutout in the center of the image, mostly the flowers, and we have a keyhole and we also have an arrow. And instead of having to line up the dies up themselves or the die cuts, you just line up these two little pieces in the center to create some really beautiful blooms. So in here we have 2, and then we also have an array of those really cool leaves as well. So there is a lot to play with that one. And if you are a fan of layering dies, I'm sure you're going to love the Fragrant Peony layering die set from Alter New. Okay, so as well as that one, we have another subscription too, or you can just buy them by themselves. And this is the decorative flowers. So this is a spark joy. So that means you're going to get a hot foil plate and also a stencil set. In the stencil set, we have two 6x6 stencils. And in the foil plate, you can see that we have this quite sizable die. I'm going to say it's about 4 or 5 inches. So let's put it down here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. So, okay. Hey there, Sue. And it's a great one to use. Now, if you don't have a hot foil machine just yet, you can actually use these in different ways. So you can use this with ink. So if you want to check out our YouTube channel, I do have a video using this set with ink, and I'm sure there's going to be other ways that you can use this without a hot foiling machine. If you do love that one and you want the add-on die set, we do have that available as well. Okay, next up is one of our newest kind of idea subscriptions. This is the Dynamic Duo Luscious Flora. And in this one, you're going to get 2 stencils and a stamp set. Now, the reason or the idea behind this one is that you can capture a lot of detail and solid images in stamps, but you can't really catch the detail in stencils. But you can catch large images really easily and kind of more pocket friendly with a stencil. That's why we're going to have all of the kind of block solid images on the stencil, and then we're going to add in details or even sentiments with the stamp set. So the stamp set itself is 4x6, and then we have 2 of those 6x6 stencils in there as well. I'm going to try and get through this so we can actually create something. Next up, we have the Apple Blossom Mini Delight. The Mini Blossom isn't as mini as it used to be, so it has upgraded in size. Again, this is a 4x3 stamp set. It has a 4-layer flower, a 2-layer center, and also a 2-layer leaf. And then we also have that die set available as well. Now, we also have another subscription, and this is only available through subscription itself. Now, I'm not going to show you this one because this will be the one that you actually sign up for. I'll give you a sneak peek. So this is Botanical Line Art. So in this, you would sign up for the subscription. You can get the die set, the 6x8 stamp set, a stencil set, and also a 3D embossing builder. This is really cool. They all mix together and they're not necessarily the same image on all of the kind of pieces. So that's one that if you do sign up this month, that is one that you're going to get, the Botanical Line Art. Okay, so I'm going to move these over because we do still have some more goodies that I want to show you before we create something. Now, this is something very new to us. I don't know if anyone has seen this yet or actually have popped it in their basket, but this is the Paint by Number Classical Roses. Now, if you're a fan of gouache, maybe you've bought our gouache set, but it was too pretty to use and you're not quite sure on how to use it, and you're a little bit scared of maybe just going for it in the first time, this would be a great thing to kind of match with that to get your creative juices flowing. So this is the Paint by Number Classical Roses. In here, you're going to get 6 paint by number images on watercolor cardstock. This is really great watercolor cardstock, 300 GSM, so it's very, very stable. You also get the instructions. So you do get 2 of the same image. So maybe you want to play around with the colors that you use, but you can use the instructions using the gouache colors out of the Strolling Through New York set. So you're going to get this flower here, which has a number of different leaves around the outside edge. You're going to get one that's more on the side, and then one that I've already used, oops, sorry everyone, is this one here. So you're going to get this beautiful image here. They are 8 by 10 in size, so they are perfect for kind of just painting them and then popping them in a frame, and they would look absolutely gorgeous. as well as just using them as pieces of art. You don't need to do that. You know me, I cut them up. So I painted it and then cut it up and put it on some cards. If you do want to see how long this actually took me to paint, please check out the YouTube channel. And today there will be a video for Paint It Along With Me featuring the Paint by Number Classical Roses. Okay. Inks. Everybody loves new inks, and these are ones that we've previously released in our dye inks, but this is our fresh dye ink. Crisp dye ink we've already released. This is the fresh dye ink. So we have the Sweet Dreams set, and we also have the Sunset. What's it? Red Sunset. So in the blues, we have the Dewdrops, the Luscious, the Teal Cave, and my favorite of all the navies we have so far is the Galactic Stream. I just love that kind of really warm tealy tone that we have on that one. And then we have the blush colors, which are going into the red. Thank you, Angel. Red Sunset. It was on the tip of my tongue. And then we have the blush, we have the rouge, we have the crimson, and we also have the velvet. Okay, Roxy, we have the difference between them is there are slightly different formulas in each of the inks, the fresh dye ink and the crisp dye ink. We do actually have a video over on YouTube which goes through the differences. So you may want to check that one out to go into much more detail as well. The biggest kind of difference between them is the packaging as well. These are much easier to kind of get into. They just twist. You line up these little marks on there and then twist to close them again. But there's a great way there to go into those. Okay, last but not least, sorry everyone, I have spent 10 minutes going through the products. I am sorry, but there was just a lot to go through. We do have some other glitter cardstock. If you are a fan of glitter, but you don't like it to be everywhere, these are for you. So this is the Purple Galore. We have the Periwinkle, we have the Amethyst, and the Nightshade in there. So if you're a purple lover, I'm sure that you're going to want to pop that one into your basket. We have more of a golden orangey, sun-kissed kind of color over here. So we have the sandstone, we have the bronzite, and also the amber for those in those beautiful orangey gold tones. Then we have the blue crystals, which is the aquamarine, the light sapphire, and also the tanzanite. So if you're a lover of royal blues, this is very fitting for in the UK at the minute with the royal blue color that we have there. And then we also have some very brilliant reds, as it says in the title. We have the red spinel, I think that's how you say it, the garnet, and also the brown diamond there as well. So if you want to add a touch of glitter, these ones could be for you. They die cut perfectly, and they will shed a little bit, but they are pretty good at not, and I'm really giving that a good scrub. You can hear me scrubbing, and there's not any on my finger. You may get some that's kind of just sheds off every now and again, but they are brilliant, as the name suggests. Okay, so let's do something, shall we? I've done enough talking, and I'm really itching to get into that rock trumpet. I just think that this is such an awesome and beautiful image. So this is what we have. Obviously, you could use a stamp platform that you have. But if you didn't have one, please don't let that deter you on getting this one as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use the acetate that it's on as my block. So when you get this, I do think that the top acetate is it's not really that, but you can use the top one. But I think that the easiest thing to do, because we have these tons and tons of sentiments, instead of taking all of those off, it's probably best just to take one stamp off and then we can add it to the other piece that we have. Okay, so if you want to, you can actually just pop that down on your work surface, then ink it, and then place your cardstock on. But I find it's easier if you use the packaging. Okay, just want to make sure that we're going to get it on. So, so it is going to be a little bit wiggly. Okay. Yeah. Sue, this is the biggest stamp I think I've ever owned. It is huge. It's like 2 hands. If you measure in hands, but it's huge. Okay, so I am gonna grab that and we're gonna ink this up. And I've put my ink away. I will be right back. Sorry, everyone. I always do this. I'm either completely over prepared with all of the ink colors or vastly under prepared with like one ink. So I am going to be using this one here. This one is the jet black. Now, if I was doing this, I'm not going to say in real life because I'm doing it in real life. You can see that I'm here in real life. But if I was doing it by myself and I didn't have people watching me, I would stamp this in obsidian and let it dry. But because we're in live world and I do want to kind of get straight into inking on top of this, I am using my jet black ink. So that is the reason. If I did use my obsidian, it would bleed because you need to let that dry a little bit. Okay. Okay. So we have our very wiggly thing, and we're just, the best thing to do is just hold it and drop it. That's the easiest way that you're going to go about this. Now, you're going to need to keep at least one hand on it. And if you have one of those kind of stamp pushers, that would be one of the best things to use on this one. But I'm just going to use the bottom part or even the top part of my ink. And remember, everything's a little bit movie. See, so you can stamp a huge image using just your stamp packaging. Yep, Sue, definitely. If you have a stamp positioner, go ahead and use it. But if you don't, please don't feel that you need to buy one to be able to get a good image with this, because you don't. Right, I'm just going to wipe down this ink before I put my fingers in it. Okay. And there we go. So if you wanted the stamp, but you weren't quite ready to invest in a stamp positioner, go ahead. This is so, and look how pretty it is. And definitely if you did have a stamp positioner, if you did stamp this in one piece, you can cut that in half and create 2 cards really easily without kind of worrying too much about it. So I love this big stamp. It is fabulous. Okay, so we do have the layering guide for this as well, but it's not in that packaging. It's in this packaging here. So I'm just going to pop that over to the side and let's create some using the inks that we have on our desk. So this probably does have a shade of pink already on it, but I'm not going to worry about that. Not at all. I'm going to grab stamp number 1 or stencil number 1, and it does have the etched in there. And then what we can do is we can line this up. I am going to grab my, I keep this over to the side. This is the low tack mat that can go inside the stamp wheel. But I have the low tack one for my stencils. And I just find that this is the perfect thing to keep them in place. So even if you don't get a stamp wheel, you could always invest in just this and you could use it for your stencils. It is fabulous. You could even use one off to the side as well to kind of hold your inks and they wouldn't move. So it is fabulous. Love it. Okay. Thank you, Pam. All right, so we're going to go with blush. Okay. So this is the first layer that we have. And what I'm going to try and do is I want that gradient effect. So I want more of the ink right at the base of that flower and in the center of the trumpet. And then we're going to kind of just pull that ink out. And as I'm doing that, to get this gradient effect, I am kind of lessening the pressure on my tool to give us that really, really light color around the edge. And I am using really small, I don't know if you can see, really, really tiny small movements with my brush to give me a kind of smoother transition. If you do it in kind of like the stripes, you can get stripes that way, and it does give you a great kind of look. But if you're not after that, if you're after the soft look, you are going to need to use small circular movements to kind of add that ink through the stencil. Okay, so once I have done that, I'm just going to lift that up. You can see just how pretty that color is there. And then we're going to add in this one over here. So it's just kind of marked off with a line, adding more of that color into that base, and then lessening the pressure and then the ink distribution around the side. Thank you, Angel. Yes, I am using the small blending brushes. These are my favorite ones. Oops, they're just, I find these perfect for most things, but again, I do use the other ones for other things. If I have like really small spaces, I will use the mini ones, and if I have the large spaces, I tend to use the larger one. But on a general day-to-day craftathon, I'll more than likely grab this one. But everyone has different preferences, and I think that you should all try, and nothing's wrong in crafting. Right, this is stencil number 2. Just sticking that around this side. Look how amazing that is. Just sticks and then it peels off. No tape whatsoever. That means I get to hoard my satin masking tape, which I do love. Hi, Suzanne. And we're going to go in with the rouge. I'm going to use the same one because I'm just going up in color. So I'm not going to worry. Yeah. Again, trying to add more of that ink to that base. And also the center, and then lessening the pressure as we go out. Please let me know what your favorite in the releases. Also, what has snuck in your basket? What are you most intrigued with, and what do you really, really want to play with? Lots of questions there, so please just feel free to answer one. You know I'm a little bit nosy, so there are my questions for you today. Also, if you do have a shout out that you want to do, maybe you have a birthday and you want everyone to know that it's your birthday, please let us know. Any good news? Good news. I'm always after good news. So please let us know that as well. Okay, so I have my rouge parts into position. Oh, this makes my heart so happy. I love that it's just so easy to do. If you are a lover of the kind of like layering stamp look, but you're not a lover of lining them up, these stencils are perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go in with stencil number 3. Trying to figure where this one goes, but it's okay. That goes there, and that goes there. I could just easily look at the layering guide, but I'm like, nah, it's fine. We're good. We can just eyeball this. So we're going to go in with crimson next. Oh, Angel, this is beautiful. It is fabulous. It's one that my mouth dropped when I saw it because I was like, that is one huge stamp. That was my first thought. But then my second thought was how beautiful it was, and that you could really, really quickly and easily create a whole array of these without as many stampings as you need, and then create like little gift cards with different colors. So, yes. Oh, Roxy would love to play with the new peony dice. They are very pretty. Hey, Teresa. Oh, Pam. She's on. I really hope that you have a good time with that paint by number. Oh, Sherry, I'm sure you're going to be able to catch the replay. And then you can see all of those beautiful colors. Okay, I'm going to grab number 4 now. So we finished with the flowers. I'm going to pop that into position. You can see just how easily these just fit into place. Okay. I'm doing it. Okay, so I have the blues, and I think that the leaves would be pretty in blue. Maybe it's not for everyone, but for today, it's what I'm going with. So we do have a number of different colored leaves. So let's start with the bluest. So we have the dewdrops here. I think I already have like a tealy color on here. Ooh, there's a lot of people looking forward to that glitter cardstock. I can't blame you. I really can't. They do work really, really well with the kind of crafter flower, just to add in that like last detail layer or the flower centers. Looks so pretty. Yes, we are doing the leaves blue. I do like different colored leaves. So, changing the look, the color of the leaves really does change the mood of the image, I think. So if you do it blue, I think it warms it up a little bit. Also, if you do gray leaves, that really gives it more of a kind of classy, more of a somber look about it there. And then if you do like navy leaves, that's really pretty too. So there's lots of kind of ways that you can play with it to create different looks. Okay, so I'm going to add in, this one first. These have got solid leaves on, so I should do the solid leaves before I add in details. I think that's probably the best bet. So we're going to go in with some of the Luscious, one of my favorite ever ink names. The other one, Pinklicious, also Snapdragon. And they're all really bright colors as well. So. Yeah, Teresa, these ones are the same colors as the crisp dye inks, but we do have the different formula with this one. Oops, I've gone over that. I shouldn't have, but I did. Oh, I've made a mistake, but hopefully we can cover that up later on. We'll find something. We might be able to cover it up now with this layer. That would be fabulous. So we're going to go in with Teal Cave. Oh, Angel is Teal Cave and Dewdrops. Yep, that galactic stream though, I do love it. It has my heart. For this one, if I was had to pick them, it would be him. Yes, Audrey, definitely. Never any mistakes in crafting. See? That's kind of covered that up. We could definitely just add a enamel dot on there and no one would know. So I'm going to add this in with one of the lighter colors again. So I'm going to drop down to Teal Cave. I'm debating with myself. Why? Yes, I'm going to go with Teal Cave. It can't just be me that sits there at that craft desk and debates whether or not it should be Teal Cave or Luscious that goes on these leaves. And then I can move this across. And then we're going to add in that galactic stream. Even the name is magical. Okay. Yes, Ori. That's why we have enamel dots in all of the colors. Okay. Oh, this is so juicy. You can tell this is the first time I've actually used this one. But wow, I'm impressed. Do you love a juicy blue? And that there is very juicy. Okay, are we ready? Ta-da! Abracadabra. Look how tropical that looks. Those blues, even though we've used the blues for the leaves, I really do think they've given us a really great blue color. So the blues that we've just been using, Kathy, are the new fresh dye ink colors, and they are the Sweet Dreams set. We do have these in the crisp dye inks, but we now have them in the fresh dye ink as well. Yes, Angel, definitely a chef's kiss. When you're using this and everything sticks to it and you just peel it off, no tape. Yes, mwah, beautiful. So there we go. So all we're going to need now is a sentiment for that one. All you're going to need to do as well, just give that a quick wipe. Oops. It is made of photopolymer, so whatever stains, photopolymer will stain the mat. You can see that I do have a little bit of a stain around the outside edge, but it's not going to kind of deter the fact that it still does its job. So there we go. Let's move that over and let's do a sentiment on a strip of cardstock. I have some scrap like everyone does over to the side, and we can use one of these sentiments. These are great. So I'm going to have make today count. I think it'll fit on there. Yes, it will. I'll line it up with the little lines that we have. Grab my trusty obsidian, tap that across, give it a wiggle, and there we go. Hey, Mrs. Tam. Oh, it's right. Yes, they are the best. Those little mats. Right, I am looking for my add-on die set for this, because in the add-on die set they do have the dies for the large sentiments, which makes my life lots easier. I know that everyone knows that I do love fussy cutting, but fussy cutting sentiments, not my favorite. It's kind of a whole different process than cutting out images. It's like, you know that we have two hobbies when we craft, right? The first hobby is buying crafted supplies, and then the second one is using them. I think it's kind of like that. I like doing images, not so much sentiments. Because like with sentiments, if you don't get it perfectly straight and things, you can kind of tell. So that's why I use this. Question. Sherry, I would not recommend using any alcohol on photopolymer stamps or the matte, as it can degrade things. So that's why I wouldn't use it. Okay, so we have our sentiment. Yes, definitely. There's another one. There's the third of the craft hobbies is hoarding them as well. Hoarding paper is a big one. I'm going to put it over that bit that I'm not really happy about, but we can hide it. Wet wipe, yeah, a chamois that you use to clean your car works perfect as well. Maxine, I would love to see those orange and yellow trumpets. I do love tropical flowers. They look beautiful. Teresa said she's the master at buying. it's like all of these different things to create a card, like the buying, the planning, the searching for inspiration. All of these are all different hobbies, right? But they all come together sometimes to create something very pretty. I'm just going to line this up. So I'm popping my card on my little cutting mat so I can put that into position. I think that a few enamel dots would really finish that off, or you could add a little bit of splatter, but it still looks very pretty anyway. Okay, let's create one more card. That took me far longer than it should have done, so I am sorry about that, everyone. Okay. I wanted to show you this one. I'm sure that Sue is going to love this one. I just have a feeling that this one is going to be the one that she really likes. So this is the Dynamic Duo Luscious Flora. So you do get the two stencils and also the stamp set. So I'm going to use the stencils first. I'm going to use the same colors I did before. I did get other inks out, but I'm loving these today. So I'm going to use the same colors to create another card. And you know what? I'm not going to do it on white. I know. Everyone's holding their breath. What does she have? I have grey. So this is the pale grey cardstock from Alternate. I'm going to grab out my mat again. Yes, Sue, you're going to love this one. I just have a feeling that, yeah, I can feel it in my bones. All right, so I have my pale grey cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 on my low tack mat. Even though it's low tack, it's still very sticky. But it doesn't tear cardstock. It's magic. So I'm going to go in with the first of the dies, and I'm just going to line it up along this edge where you can see that the things are cut off, and then this one here. I find that that's easier if I line it up along an edge for lining up the next one, especially if you're doing a background. Right, I'm going to go in with rouge. I don't want to go in with blush because we are going onto a coloured cardstock. Even though this is really, really light, the blush may not hold up to it. So that's why I'm going straight in with rouge. Sorry, I went quiet. I was reading things and I thought, okay, yeah, I should maybe be telling people what I'm doing. So I've gone with the rouge. I'm then going to go in with some crimson right at the base. And I'm wondering if I should go crimson or should I just jump straight to velvet. And that's what I'm going to do. Using the same little blending tool. And I'm just adding that color right at the base of all of those little images that we have. Maybe I did go a little bit wild, a little bit dark with this one, but I think it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. There is a stamp set that says if everything's going to be okay, if it's not okay, it's not the end. And I can't remember what it's out of, but it's such a lovely sentiment. And I wish I could remember the stamp set that it's out of. Okay, so we have those. And then we can remove. Ooh, okay. Kind of looks like poppies. And then we're going to take the second one. And because I kind of line things up along this edge and then the bottom edge, we should be able to do the same with this one. And you can see that it's kind of hugs around these petals on all of these flowers. And then it's going to add little buds to the bottom of them as well. I'm going in with some blue. I'm going to go Aqualicious, then jump straight into the Galactic Stream. Okay, so once I have covered all of the leaves, like I said, I'm going to jump from, oops, so what you're going to need to do is just line up these little lines and then a quick twist and they're good to go. So they're really great for traveling because they're not going to come apart. That acrylic is fabulous, but so is the galactic stream. Just saying. So I'm trying to add this galactic stream to the base of those leaves. And this galactic stream, if you are a lover of like the lagoon and the volcano lake and you wanted those to look a little bit more blue, swap out the galactic stream with the emerald that we have in that set, and that's going to give you more of a blue tone with those colors rather than the green tone. Miss Tam, it may be. I'm not sure. Maxine, thank you for that. I will pass that on to the team and see what we can come up with for that one. Okay. Look how pretty that is. Now, I may have not cleaned my stencil off very well, but it still looks really pretty. Just again, I'm going to give that a quick wipe. I am trying to look after my low-tech mat. Okay. Now, I was going to go in with my obsidian, you know, classic, but I thought we could try and mix things up and go in with some gold as well. So that is what I am going to do. So I'm just going to move that over. I'm going to grab this. Now, I have to say that this stamp is so much easier to do when you can get directly over. So you have the proper view. Me, not so much. So that is my excuse if I don't get this perfect, and I'm sticking to it because I'm off to the side. But at home, definitely get right above this so you can see exactly where it needs to go. Okay. So we have our antique gold. This is such a rich and vibrant ink. I'm sorry if my head does get in the way. I am trying to get it lined up, but if it's not perfect, it's still going to look great. Audrey, she has one of the secret inks from the retreat that happened on Saturday. Okay. Okay. So it's not as bright and vibrant as the black would be, but it's going to add some sparkle and a little bit more subtle. I like this. It looks like, you know, like a silken material, like a scarf that's been printed and then it's got gold on it. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to twist this. I find it's easier to twist your work rather than twist your neck or head. Definitely move things if you need to. Oh, so yes, you definitely could emboss it as well. But I'm going to go with the ink. I'm loving it. I love the fact that, I mean, I do like making my own backgrounds. One of my favorite things to do. But the fact that it's all jigsawed together perfectly, and I don't really need to think about it too much, it's a win in my books. Okay, stamp. Thank you, Tracy. I'm glad you enjoyed my little video. do have a video coming up with this one as well in a couple of weeks, just so you know. Yep, Bo, if you feel that you need to stand up to do those layering stamps, go for it. We all have our little ways that work for us, and there is no wrong way in how you stamp. I know people ask me sometimes, like, do you bring the ink to the stamp or the stamp to the ink? And sometimes I can't really answer the question because I do both. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So I would say the smaller the stamp, the more chance that that has going to the ink rather than the other way around. But just find a way that works for you. And if you ink to stamp or stamp to ink, there is no right or wrong way. This one's sneaky. I'm just gonna sneak in there. And then, oops, that one was way off, but it's fine. We're good. Okay, yeah, the gold embossing would look beautiful. This gives a more of a subtle effect, but I still think it's very pretty. Okay, so we're just gonna clean off, which is not like me. Oh yeah, there's been plenty of times when I'm doing the videos that I have had to cut off a lot of the parts because my head just keeps getting in the way. And if I don't want to see my own head, a lot of people don't want to see my head as well. So I am going to add a little bit more detail to this one. I'm going to add some splatter. But as we've used gold, let's use some gold splatter. So I'm going to grab out my metallics. It's Angel today. The lovely Angel is behind the badge. And I'm going to activate my metallic watercolors using some water. And I do have it in my little fine mister. I find this is the easiest way to kind of activate those colors and get them going. Okay, so I have a lot of water in this one. I'm just going to move it around a little. We'll just, okay. Okay, so we've added some really fine splatter on. That looks so pretty. It's so sparkly. So the more kind of water you put on it, the kind of bigger the drops. The less water, you're going to get more of that fine one. Okay. And also, if you do kind of put water in like this into your watercolors, always let them dry first before you put them away. You could end up with a lot of accidents if you don't. Pop that over there. Need to remember to wash that off, but there we go. So there is our second panel, and we're just going to need to kind of add that to a card. Just thinking. Okay. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to chop it. I know. I should let it dry. I'm impatient. Okay, what I'm going to do is, because I don't want the gold on there, I'm just going to use a bit of paper on there. And no one's going to know where I'm going to kind of cut it. So I'm just going to cut it at an angle. There we go. So in theory, kind of have 2 cards now. I'll just grab panels. So you could add this one here and add a sentiment. And then we have this one here. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to make that line a little better. So I'm going to do I'm just going to add a line in. I'm going to move that out. Oops. Oops. Oh no, lost my space. Let's try again. Okay. And that line there will really kind of finish off that and give you a cleaner, kind of more smart looking edge than you have here. So just that line is really going to make a little bit of difference to that. All we need to do is grab some sentiments. We have some good ones on the rock trumpet. So I'm just going to grab one and we can stamp that. Ooh. I've got gold. Okay, I wasn't going to do gold. I was going to do black. So I'm going to just do, yeah, I'm going to do gold. Oops. I'm sorry, Bo, but we did create two. Yeah. I love the 2-for-1. So we can definitely add a black sentiment over there. But yeah, so there are the cards that we have created today, all using the same inks. So you can see just how different it is when you swap out a different color cardstock. Also, don't think that you need to always do your sentiments in black. Gold works perfectly. Also, adding a line across the edge of your kind of cut panels is going to give you a crisper, kind of more focused looking edge. This one's softer, but it's still a nice crisp look as well. So I am going to move you guys up. Whew. Actually quite warm. That's my cardio for today. Crafting. I've done a lot of inking and a lot of stamping. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you again to the lovely Angel for popping in all of the links and for being with us. Again, thank you everyone. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your conversation. It's nice to talk to someone when I craft because I don't really, apart from myself, I don't really talk to a lot of people when I am crafting. So again, thank you very much. We will see you again next week. And I do hope that you have a great weekend and don't forget to craft your life. See you again soon. Bye-bye.